So we're making this TV stand here for my parents, and it's meant to be 57 inches long by 13 inches wide, and we're using this rectangle tubing. This is 1 by 2 inch, and so we start off by cutting it to length at 57 inches, and then we cut it off at a 45-degree angle on each end. And we use this chop saw here. It's actually really fast. It's just loud as hell. So once we got all of our pieces cut out, we start the fit up. I use this magnet to help with the 90-degree angle and some clamps. And so once we start tacking this, the important part to keep in mind here is the welding sequence. So we don't want to just start welding all of it, because then it's going to turn into a pretzel. It's going to get all messed up. And so because this is a TV stand, we want it to stay nice and flat. And so just take it nice and slow. Make sure we're welding diagonally across. It goes nice and smooth. So as you can see, this isn't the ultimate fit up, but it is gonna look nice. We're gonna have to grind off these welds anyway to keep everything nice and flat. So we'll just fill in some of these spots and it'll be all right. So once we finish this bottom rectangle, we got it all tacked up. One thing I didn't record was I did the exact same thing. I made another one. I tacked up the first one and then made another one the exact same thing to let the first one cool. So I tacked up the next one and then I went back to the first one to do the welds. So not the prettiest welds, but that's all right. We're gonna grind them off anyway. I welded it, held it. So next, we're gonna add the feet on here. It's really just a piece of this 1 by 2 rectangle square to 1 inch. And so we're just going to weld it to the bottom piece on each corner. And then we're going to put a flat piece at the bottom so it holds, and we can put felt pads under it and it won't be wobbly. So next, we're going to use some of this 1-inch square tubing, and we're going to make this L shape. So these measurements I got from a sound bar that my parents have. It's very specific, and I'm going to weld these to the bottom of the top, and so it's just going to hold the sound bar there. Going to give it its own little spot. So this part right here was my favorite to do for sure. These are going to be the middle supports. This is just 1-inch square tubing, and so first we cut them to size, and now we're going to use an oxyacetylene torch to heat up parts of this and then twist it with a monkey wrench. It actually bends quite easily once it's nice and cherry red. It's pretty cool. Also, this is my first time trying to do this with square tubing, so I didn't have the torch turned up all the way, and it was taking a while to heat up. After this, I turned it up all the way, and I got to heat it up a lot quicker. So the hard part here was trying to keep it nice and straight after twisting it, because when you're twisting it, it's kind of hard to tell if it's still straight or it kind of bends a little towards one way, and it did at first. So I just went back and reheated it and just got it straight with that monkey wrench. Just gotta kind of move around it to make sure you're getting that point of view from all around. Make sure it stays straight how you want it. So after doing this 3 more times, I checked them to make sure they were nice and straight, and then I measured about 14 inches from the edge for the bottom piece, so I can tack them up about centered to each other. And so I just eyeballed it, I tacked them up, and then I beat them straight with a hammer. And to set the top, what I did was I went and got some help, because it's a big piece to try to hold it up with one hand and tack it up with the other. So I had some help with this next part here. So now that we got this all nice and tacked up, we're gonna put the legs on it. And so these are just a 1x2 rectangle tubing. And so this part I struggled a little bit to get that angle because it pretty much goes from the top edge to the bottom and the bottom edge to the top. And they're about 2 inches apart from each other. And this is really just cosmetic. It's just because I wanted it to look like that. It's by design. And it ended up being about a 17-degree angle on both sides. Took me a few tries, but I think it came out nice. So as you can see, I tacked up this side of the legs the wrong way, and I didn't realize until they were both tacked up already. So I just went and knocked them out with a hammer, grinded off the tacks, and then re-tacked them up the right way, matching the other side. And so after that, I used this piece of angle iron right here with some pieces of sheet metal on the ends, 1x1 inch, just to cap it off. And we're gonna tack this up dead center of the whole piece at the top. And this is going to be a little housing unit for the remotes. It's just going to be a special spot for them to make sure they don't get lost. And after we do the finish, we're going to put a piece of nice soft material for them, make sure they don't get scratched up. So I welded these L shapes kind of on the side. I welded them up, grinded off the welds, make sure it looks nice and smooth. And then I flipped over the whole frame, the base. And so we're gonna weld these. They're gonna go under the top. And it's gonna be a special spot for a sound bar. Just so it's kind of out of the way and it's got its own spot. So after welding up this whole thing, this is the finish we're gonna use. We're gonna use some gloss, some high gloss black paint, and then another layer of gloss. So it's nice and glossy. And then another thing I forgot to mention was these little tabs on the inside. These are gonna be used to hold a piece of wood that we're gonna use as the top for the bottom and the top. And these, they're really just some wooden slabs. I sanded them down, put a finish on them, and then just screwed them on from the bottom. And that's it. And we have our finished piece. Nice and decorated. A few months later, it's still held up, does its job just fine, and it still looks nice.